What's going on, guys? It has been far too long, and welcome to another Chase on Two Wheels First Ride. We're actually in the Marietta Mountain Motorsports location, and in front of us we have the brand new Kawasaki Z900RS. They got this real retro styling going on, and so that I could match the bike, I've got my hipster little flannel on. It's a motorcycle jacket, don't worry. It's actually a really cool jacket. I'll leave a link down below. I did a review on it, but I figured that would fit the styling of this old retro thing. So, thanks to Mountain Motorsports and Marietta, I'm going to be able to do a lot more bikes for you guys. I know you've been asking for Kawasaki's, KTM's, all types of stuff. I'm going to do a real big push to get a lot of cool first rides coming for you guys. So, without further ado, let's take some pretty shots of this bike. Let's see what it looks like, and then, more importantly, let's see how it rides. Let the first ride begin. Alright guys, so first off, I know it's like mid-February and I'm doing the first ride of the year. My apologies, but don't worry, we're going to be doing a lot more coming up. So we got this old retro Kawasaki. It's not old, it's brand new, but the styling is old. I don't know when Kawasaki decided to rock this bad boy out. I don't know if it was before or after Yamaha came out with their XSR 900, which is another retro looking bike that I kind of, at least visually, I put them in the same class. I do feel like this bike does a much better job of the retro feel. Also, you might notice a brand new helmet. This is the new first ride helmet. So we're working a lot of kinks out. Hopefully everything works out good, but I think it will. I did some testing on it. All right, first off, height, 5'10", me. Backs to my feet can't touch the ground. Well, they can, but I have to like really try for it. So I would say it's probably like a medium height bike. It's not low, it's not high, but you know, it's comfortable. Speaking of comfortable, this seat, oh my goodness, dude, I want to ride all day long. As far as ergonomics, my arms are kind of upright. So as far as the tech, I love this. You've got the old versus the new, so you get like, hey, this bike is still brand new, but it has old styling. So let's get out of here. You guys don't pay me to sit. I'm just kidding, you guys don't pay me at all, but I do appreciate the views. All right. Oh man, okay, right off the bat, first thing I got to talk about, this bike is comfortable. Oh my gosh, I'm digging it. All right, let's get this thing out on the road. Also guys, this is a brand new location for me. It's been a very long time since I've done a first ride in Marietta, so we're still working out the route. You guys know that I always have a first ride route. I don't have it set up for this location yet. So while we're sitting here waiting on traffic, this bike was built off, if I understand correctly, they've got the Z900. Oh snap! Look at this oldie, killing it. That's way more pep than I expected out of this bike. I'm not even gonna lie. I came into this first ride expecting a kind of slow bike, you know, but chill and fun to ride. Way more pep than I would have ever expected. That's awesome. Mirrors are shaking a decent amount. Not a huge fan of that. But I've all but given up on mirrors on motorcycles these days. That seat is as comfortable as it was. Oh my, wow, dude. So like I said, I came into this, I think, here's my issue. I came into this bike with the wrong expectations. I expected it to be slow, kind of fat, lethargic, not nimble at all. And it's got some pep. It likes to lean a little bit. It's really cool. My legs are super comfortable. Hold on, I gotta focus right now. I think I have to do... Oh wait, I gotta get over here. Whoops. I was like, do I turn on that side of the road? Oh my goodness. Brakes are not everything that I wanted, but that's okay. Oh, by the way, if you guys are wondering why there wasn't a drone shot in the beginning, it's because there's a freaking Air Force base, and my drone was legit like, yeah, dude, can't take off. It's a no-fly zone, so I got my wife as my camera woman. What is this? This is supposed to be an old school bike. It ain't supposed to be fast. What is this? Hold on, are you telling me I got comfort and speed? Yes. So coming up, we are going to have a highway. I'll have a highway entrance like I typically do. I know a lot of you guys like the highway entrance part. Right now, ergonomic wise, the only thing I'm not liking right now, we're only going, what, 60. My chest is getting hit with a lot of air, and we're not even on the highway yet. So obviously we don't have a windscreen. It's kind of a minimal front. But when you have a bike where you're sitting upright, you know, it's your arms are upright, your bag is upright. When you have a lot of wind on your chest, it's gonna be rough. Wow, that rear brake definitely leaves something to be desired. Good Lord. Z. I feel like this should be the official Revzilla bike because it's got the little Z thing. This bike is all part of this thing where the motorcycle industry notices that the newer guys getting into the motorcycle industry, some call us hipsters, I don't know, but a lot of people are really into, at least younger people from what I understand, are really into the kind of old retro-y bike. So I think that's what Kawasaki was doing with this guy, and I feel like they did a good job. Like, it handles really well, at least comparatively to what I was expecting. I feel like I could get around some traffic with this thing. I don't know if you guys are able to tell, but in the reflection of that Nissan, you can see that the headlight is LED. So it's another one of those situations where it's an old looking bike, and that's purely aesthetic because Kawasaki has put all of the up-to-date stuff in it. You've got an LED front headlight that's round and gives you that retro feel, but there's LEDs inside of it, so you've got like that efficient technology. There's actually an LED in the rear as well, but they've made it to look like an old school taillight. It's crazy the amount of tiny things they've done on this bike. Controls wise, I really like the controls. They feel tactile. They're not clicky, but you know, you get some responsiveness when you click over to them. Alright, this should be a highway entrance. We're not going to have that speed onto the highway, but it's kind of okay because this bike isn't really made for stuff like that. You know, I think it's the wider handlebars that give me, you know, when you have wider handlebars, you kind of feel like you have more control. You can push stuff around. I think that's kind of leading to the maneuverability feeling I'm getting. Jesus. That is so cool. That's so awesome that you can have an old school looking bike that's like quick. This is such like the ideal bike to have in town. The only problem is I think that all of the torque for this bike is at the bottom. So you do get that punchy, like look at that. I can get up to 80 and 90 super quick, but I imagine that power is going to taper off. Not really. Wow, got up to freaking 110 before it even kind of started. That's really impressive. We're in 4th gear. From what I understand, 6th gear is a little bogged down. So let's check out. Let's put it in and kind of cruise control 6th gear. All right, you know, cars are all around us. We're chilling on the highway. We've got our comfortable seat. You know, the wind is really not as bad as it was over there on the road. I might have been getting a gust because, you know, we're chilling here on the highway. What are we going, 75? Dude, I'm chill. There's not that much wind on my chest, so I take that back. All right, so let's just say we want to throttle up some. You know, and maybe we're not in the right rev range. Yeah, 6 gears. 6 gear leaves you wanting a little bit, but that's not really where I see people getting this bike. And really, you know, I don't see people getting this bike and taking it on the highway. You know, I see. Is it raining? Oh shit, it is raining. I'm sorry if there's water on the GoPro, guys. Didn't know it was supposed to rain today. It looks like shit, but I didn't think it was gonna rain. I will say, when I get up to higher speeds, my pegs are they're vibrating a little bit more than I would personally feel is comfortable. There's little tiny vibrations that are kind of more annoying than anything. Going over these bumps on the highway, I can go ahead and tell you the suspension's a little soft, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I actually like the soft suspension. It fits in with the overall feel that this bike has. You know, it would feel weird if it had a really hard suspension. It just wouldn't fit the bike, I don't think. Check the GoPro. Yeah, you guys are a little watery. Hopefully that fixes you. So we've got some select situation going on over here. I can go 58 miles, average miles per gallon, trip B, trip A, odometer, temperature. Cool. I know the bike has ABS as well, which is really interesting. I'm not really sure how to change that. Holding up on, no, that's changing that. There we go. Traction control 1. I'm not really sure what the traction controls do, but that's one of those things. It's just part of this bike where you've got this older looking bike. You know what, I don't want to call it old, I want to call it classic. It's got a classic look, but it's got all of those updated things that you would want in a brand new bike. Rider aids are kind of a per person situation. Some people like having rider aids, and some people want that pure feeling of like you have all the control of the bike. I don't know, man. I'm personally in the boat of like, I like rider aids. I feel like they help you out in situations that a regular rider wouldn't really be able to do. Oh, there's a cop. I was about to goose it. Glad I didn't. Glad I didn't. My gee. I'm telling you guys, if you go ride this bike, you are not going to expect the amount of power it has. And granted, that's probably because Kawasaki put all of the power down low, but dude, it comes on in such a good way. I love it. I absolutely love it. And as far as riding around town, like, dude, that's all the place you need power. You don't need it like everywhere. You want it down low to get you going, and then you want it to be like, okay, cool, I am where I am speed wise. So with this being a new spot, I'm gonna have to figure out where we can pull over so I can walk around the bike and talk about it, because there's some stuff about this bike that I want to show you guys. It's not my taste, but I appreciate it. I'll put it that way. Can we just take note of the exhaust for a second? That's a pretty cool sounding exhaust. And that's stock. That is totally freaking stock, which is really cool. God, most bikes sound terrible stock. You know what I like about this bike? If you have some buddies in town and you guys are like, hey, let's go ride around, or, you know, you go to a bike night and there's some sport bike guys there showing off and revving and shit. This is totally a bike. You could go to a bike night, and then everybody's, you know, normally everybody leaves at the same time, and you could leave at the same time as a super sport guy who's all, you know, he's got his leathers on and shit. He thinks he's all cool, and you've got this retro looking bike and you meet him at a red light and you're like, hey man, you want to go real quick? Because he's not gonna take you seriously. And then you go and you freaking leave his ass because of all that torque you have down low. Oh, that is what I want. That is what I want for somebody that owns this bike. We're gonna pull in this giant parking lot and take a little look at the bike. Man, going over bumps, it just soaks it up. God, this is such a good in-town bike, because like most of the time when you're in town, the roads suck. You know, they're bumpy, there's potholes everywhere, and on a sport bike, God, it's awful. You don't have that on this bike. It just soaks everything up. All right, let's take a look at the bike. Alright guys, Kawasaki Z900RS. Let me show you the front LEDs. You probably saw them in the very beginning of the video, but check that out. So if you really look close, you can see that it looks brand new on the inside, but it's got this retro looking housing. I do feel like these should be a little more curved if that's the aesthetic we're going for. I think this bike was modeled after the Z1, if I'm not mistaken, which a lot of people have a lot of memories of that who've been riding for a long time. So they've got this little paint scheme, and from what I understand, this is a tank cover, so you can get these to match and stuff like that. It's really, really interesting. The exhaust is a tube inside of a tube, so the things we see on the outside, that's the outer tube, and then there's an inner tube, so there's that air space in between. I know this because I watched the Revzilla review on this bike, so let me shout out to you for the info. But check out these polished header pipes. So what he was talking about was they have an internal tube that's, you know, where all the exhaust goes, and then there's this outer kind of for looks tube, and that way the tubes end up staying like cleaner looking for a long period of time. The thing I was talking about earlier is the chrome little look, the polished look. I'm not a big fan of that, and when it comes to retro looking bikes, I'm not really a fan of the way this bike looks. But as it happens a lot when I do my first rides, I'm a very visual guy, so most of the bikes I like are totally based on how they look, but this is a bike that I'm shocked at how much I like after riding it. And this bike is based on the Z900 that Kawasaki already has, so after this first ride, I am dying to go ride the Z900 that they have, because if it's essentially the same engine, even if it's close, that is a bike I need to check out. But anyway, Z900RS. Yeah, this big seat. This seat is so freaking comfortable. I love it. But yeah, guys, that's the Z900RS. So, as I do with every first ride, I have a website, Chaseontwowheels.com, and I have a blog there where I post high-def photos of all the bikes I do first rides on. And one thing I also do in there is I post an audio clip. I get my expensive microphone, and I give you guys the best idea of what the audio sounds like on this bike. So, I encourage you to go check that out. There's going to be a top link in the description. That'll take you directly to the blog post. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn the bike on. I'm going to crank it up and let you guys hear what it sounds like. The GoPro will do an okay job, but if you really want to hear this bike and what the exhaust sounds like, this is a stock exhaust, by the way, I recommend you going out to the site. But anyway, let's get this bike cranked up, let you guys listen to it. Supposedly, Kawasaki tuned the exhaust for the exhaust noise. I don't know why other manufacturers don't do that. I guess because they're just like, whatever, let's just throw the ugliest thing on there so that people can update it. But I really appreciate Kawasaki taking the extra time. We are in neutral. Alright guys, 2018 Kawasaki Z900RS, stock exhaust. Dude, for a bike that looks like that, it is a sleeper of a beast. I cannot believe this bike is like this. Alright, so it's kind of raining. I want to get on with this first ride and finish it up before it gets too wet, guys. So let's get back on it. Let's finish it up. You know, one of my favorite things about first rides and doing them is when I do a first ride on a bike that, you know, when you ride bikes, you come in with an expectation of what the bike's gonna be. You know, and some bikes justified. You know what the bike's gonna be like. And every now and then I ride a bike for the first time and I'm like, and it shocks me. It's like, holy shit, I did not anticipate that. This is one of those rare moments, and I am so happy that I get to do first rides, because I'm like you guys, you know, if I want to know about bikes, I watch YouTube videos, and I personally have a hard time watching bike review videos because a lot of people use terminology that I don't really understand. I'm not very technical, so you know, I hear them talking about like how much torque the bike has and how much horsepower and at what rev range and shit like this, and I'm like, okay, but what does that mean for riding the bike? Jesus Christ, the engine braking. My goodness. So yeah, that's why I really like doing first rides because I feel like I try to explain things in a normal dude way that you don't understand technical stuff. Point being, low down, this thing is a monster. Alright guys, so Kawasaki Z900RS, what are the takeaways? One, super retro look, and it's an actual retro look as compared to the other retro looking bikes. And you know, that's a personal preference thing. If you like the real old retro look, power to you. If you don't, whatever. Engine wise, phenomenal. All of the power is down low, but it is yanking me around up to 110. You know, I don't have a windscreen on this. I don't want to be going much faster than 110, to be honest. Handlebars are really up high, and the seat is super comfortable, thank God, because if the seat wasn't comfortable and you were sitting upright, you got a lot of weight. You got a lot of weight sitting down on that seat. So the seat combo with the ergonomics work out really well. The area I feel like this bike would be absolutely perfect is the bike you ride the majority of the time. It's going to be the bike you take to work and you ride around town or you commute to work in. It's just super comfortable, super easy to maneuver around, and it has an amount of power that you will never need on the street. Like, it's raining and it's cold, but otherwise, man, I would be doing power wheelies like it was no joke. Super shocked, man. Did not expect this bike to be this good. If you guys are looking for that kind of like around the town bike, I mean, I don't want to say I would take this to the mountains because the suspension's a little too soft, but you could slay the roads in town. Oh god, this is way better of a bike than I thought it would be. Nice job, Kawasaki. I'll give you a freaking clap for this thing. I'm really impressed. But guys, before I get out of here, gotta say a shout out to my guys at Mountain Motorsports. This time we're in the Marietta location that we're pulling up on now. If it wasn't for those guys, wouldn't be able to do these first rides for you guys and let you guys know what bikes are like riding them for the first time. Hopefully this video helped you guys coming up with a purchase decision if you're looking into the bikes, and if you're looking for a bike like this, highly recommend my guys over at Mountain Motorsports. They have been supporters of the channel for a long time now, and it's a very appreciated relationship we got going on. But guys, I'm Chaseontwowheels. I am back. I have to give this bike back, unfortunately. Hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and share this video with somebody you think would like this retro beast of a bike. Very happy to be making first rides again, guys. See you on the next one. Bye. Outro crew, let me know what you think about the orange. I think they have really cool color schemes. Not a big fan of the orange though. Okay, I gotta do follow car stuff now. Bye.